Hey, Angel here for mynexttablet.com, today with an unboxing of the new Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e. Alright, I've got the Galaxy Tab S5e finally in front of me, and in this video we want to unbox it and take a closer look at it. First, a couple of words about pricing. You can get it starting at around $400 for the Wi-Fi only version in the United States, but it's also available in Europe and Asia, and prices are very similar. Sometimes it varies by country, sometimes you can get the LTE version only, but I'm sure both versions will be available almost worldwide soon. In Europe it starts at 399 euros, so technically it's a bit pricier there. And yeah, let's start this unboxing. You can see the tablet itself is inside the box, obviously, and yeah, we can already see that it has a very nice full metal body. And then let's see what else is inside the box. We're getting a standard power plug, so nothing special about that one, but we also get a USB-C cable, which is pretty standard nowadays too, and always nice to see. And something unusual is we are getting headphones. That might just be a feature of the LTE version that I have. So you can make phone calls with this tablet, and if you want, you can use headphones with those. They're included. It's quite unusual, but yeah, it's nice. Then we have a standard SIM eject tool, and then we have an adapter from headphone jack to USB-C, because Samsung is following Apple and Huawei in not putting a headphone port into their tablets. That's a bit sad, but at least we have a free adapter. And then we've got the warranty guide and quick start guide and so on. Yeah, I've got the Galaxy Tab S5e in front of me now. I already played with it for just over a day to get some standard testing done. And yeah, now let's start with the design first. First of all, you see the beautiful 10.5-inch Super AMOLED screen here, and let's turn it over to see the design, which is quite nice. We're getting a full metal body here, which is quite unusual for Samsung, because in the past we usually get either plastic bodies or glass backs or something, but it's been a while since we've seen a higher end metal tablet from Samsung. It's just 5.5 millimeters thin, which is really thin, and I think that makes it the thinnest tablet available, because the iPad Pro is around 5.8 millimeters if I remember correctly. And yeah, this one weighs just 400 grams, and it really is very thin and very light. Now let's go around the device a bit. First of all, I already showed you the screen here. Then we've got an 8 megapixel front facing camera. There are no physical buttons, but relatively small black bezels around the screen. Then on the sides here, we get an important feature. This is a fingerprint scanner and the home button. So let me quickly shut it off, and then let's turn it on. And yeah, the fingerprint scanner works really precise and very fast. It's a nice fingerprint scanner. So we don't have the iris scanner that we got with the Galaxy Tab S4. That one was alright, but I actually prefer a fingerprint scanner unless they get facial recognition as good as Apple does with their Face ID. Then we have the volume rockers here, and a micro SD card and SIM card slot. Yes, you can also put a micro SD card in it to expand the storage. Then on the bottom here, we've got 2 speakers and a USB-C 3.1 port. And on this side, we've got a connector for an optional keyboard cover that I don't have right now though. And then on the top, we've got 2 additional speakers. So in total, we get 4 speakers, which is nice and also pretty much standard in higher end Android tablets like the Galaxy Tab S4, but also the Huawei MediaPad M5 series. On the back, we get a 13 megapixel camera, and then here the nice slim metal body. Now let's turn to the screen. This is a 10.5-inch Super AMOLED screen, and it has a very high resolution of 2560 by 1600. So that's a very high resolution, and as you might expect, everything looks sharp. In fact, this might be or is probably exactly the same screen that we've gotten with the Galaxy Tab S4. So yeah, this is really one of the nicest screens we've seen in a tablet, especially in this price range. And it's quite bright, looks sharp, and yeah, the viewing angles are really good too. It's an AMOLED screen. We've known it from Samsung. They are really nice. By the way, you cannot use an S Pen with it, so that's the something that only the Galaxy Tab S4 supports, or the Galaxy Tab A8 with S Pen that I've got here, And yeah, I tried it. The S Pen is not compatible, so no stylus support, at least no active stylus support with the Galaxy Tab S5e. Maybe we will get it with the standard S5. Alright, let's take a look at the internal hardware, and we're getting a Qualcomm Snapdragon 670 here. That's an octa-core chip with 8 cores in total, and together with that we get 4GB of RAM and a 64GB internal storage. However, you can also get it with 6GB of RAM and a 128GB internal storage. I've got the 4GB RAM in here, and yes, this is the LTE version as I said earlier. I already ran a couple of benchmarks, and the benchmark results are pretty good. You can see them here and in this comparison that I'm showing you right now. And yeah, you can see that the Galaxy Tab S4 with the Snapdragon 835 is still a bit faster than the Galaxy Tab S5e. However, the Galaxy Tab S4 is still $100 to $200 pricier depending on the country. And yeah, so you still see a performance difference here. If you want the fastest Android tablet available right now, you still have to go with the Galaxy Tab S4. However, the Galaxy Tab S5e is cheaper and gets quite close. I already tried 2 games on here, and that is Fortnite that you're seeing here right now. There are not many Android tablets that support Fortnite at the moment. It's mostly the ones from Samsung, the Galaxy Tab S3, S4 and the S5e. Those are the 3 that officially support Fortnite. However, you can only play it with low settings, and yeah, I've noticed that Fortnite certainly does not look as good as on the Galaxy Tab S4 or on the iPad Pro. So I'm thinking the hardware should be able to play it with at least medium settings or so. So I'm guessing that maybe Fortnite has to, Epic Games has to push an update to Fortnite, or that maybe Samsung has to push an update. But I think the tablet should be capable enough to play it with medium settings. But at the moment, only with low settings. And yeah, it looks a bit disappointing compared to what I'm used to from an iPad. For example, on the positive side, I also played PUBG Mobile, which you can play with HD or HDR settings and set the frame rate to very high. And yeah, PUBG Mobile looks great on the Galaxy Tab S5e. Nothing to complain here, it runs quite smooth. And yeah, that's what I would expect from an upper middle class tablet, almost a premium tablet, maybe lower premium tablet. So the performance is not as good as the Galaxy Tab S4, but I still think that it's pretty good. I already ran my standard battery test as well. For that, I'm always looping an HD video at medium brightness and constantly looping until the tablet shuts itself off. And in this test, the Galaxy Tab S5e got a runtime of 13.5 hours, which again is not the best result ever, but still a really good result for a tablet in this price range. Now let's take a look at its software, and let's just quickly check which exact version the Galaxy Tab S5e is running. There we go to software information, and it's of course Android 9 Pie. So that's nice. Together with the Galaxy Tab A10.1 and A8.0, it is among the 3 first ones to directly ship with Android 9. However, the Huawei MediaPad M5 series has gotten updates to Android 9 too. But the software is really a major highlight of the Samsung tablets, because usually they get at least 2 major updates, which pretty much no other brand offers right now for their tablets. Oftentimes we have to wait quite a bit with Samsung tablets, but at least they usually do get updates, at least in recent years. So I'm expecting that the Galaxy Tab S5e will get around 2 major version updates, at least. And that's what I'm hoping. I don't have any inside information, but that's what I expect. On top of Android 9 runs the One UI. That's a new name for their own interface. And you can see it here right now. It looks exactly the same as on their other recent tablets, very similar to the Samsung Experience UI and TouchWiz. That's the previous names for their UI. And it looks a bit different than vanilla Android. Everything is customized. The design of the settings is customized as well. There are really a lot of design customizations here and additional features. Some things have changed. For example, if you want to open 2 apps side by side, you now have to long press here on the icon, then open in split screen view, and then you can open another app. Let's just open the browser here, and then you can still have 2 apps side by side open. That's just the feature that Samsung had for ages in their tablets, but it's just changed a bit how you do it, and I already got questions on how you do it. Well, that's how you do it. Yeah, that's one of the features. We also have battery saving modes here. And what else? Let's quickly go through here. We've got power saving modes, blue light filter, that's all standard. And one thing that is not standard with the Galaxy Tab A series, but it is with the Galaxy Tab S series recently, is Samsung DeX. If you activate it, it transforms the UI into a kind of desktop operating system. Everything looks like a desktop operating system. You will see it right now. It's the first time I'm trying this on the Galaxy Tab S5e. But yeah, it looks pretty similar or pretty much identical to Samsung DeX on the Galaxy Tab S4, which I did review in summer of 2018. So yeah, almost a year ago, not quite. And yeah, this basically then works like a desktop operating system. Obviously, it works better if you connect a keyboard and a mouse and maybe even a screen. You can do that using USB-C or Bluetooth, connecting the keyboard and mouse, of course, using Bluetooth. And yeah, that's Samsung DeX. I will certainly try it out more for my final review. And how, yeah, let's exit Samsung DeX here. So that's one of the special features of the One UI on the Galaxy Tab S5e. And everything else is just standard Android, standard One UI. What's new is the digital well-being, so you can see how long you've used which apps, and yeah, then you can see what you have done. You've seen I already played Fortnite quite a bit. By the way, pretty much every outlet now has reported that the Galaxy Tab S5e has a Wi-Fi problem. If you hold the tablet in landscape view with the camera on the left side and you hold it quite tightly on the bottom, the corner, then the Wi-Fi speed is dropping by up to 50%, and for some users even almost completely. And if you hold it the other way without covering that corner, then the Wi-Fi speed is totally normal. And as you can see here, I did try that, and it actually is the case here too. If you hold the lower corner, then the Wi-Fi speed is about half of the normal speed that it should have and that it has when you hold it a bit differently. So that is a design flaw which Samsung probably will not be able to fix with a software update. However, when you know about it and you experience Wi-Fi versions, yeah, at least you know you just have to maybe hold it a bit differently or just turn it. Since it is a tablet, you can turn it however you want. So yeah, that's something to note and something that probably won't be fixed. However, I don't think it's a huge issue. Yeah, but certainly sad that Samsung did this. They probably missed it. Something similar happened to Apple a couple of years ago, right? Alright, so in general, my first impressions of the Galaxy Tab S5e are really good. We're getting a very nice screen, a very good build quality, up-to-date software, and pretty good battery life, pretty decent performance. Yes, not as fast as the Galaxy Tab S4, but it's also much cheaper, at least noticeably cheaper. And yeah, so my first impressions are pretty good. I now have to really start my review and have to really use it for a couple of weeks. So this is not the final review, just an unboxing and first impressions with a couple of benchmarks and so on. So if you have any questions, something that I maybe should put into my final review, please write them down below in the comments, and then I will do my best to include them or to try something out. I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for the final review of this tablet and pretty much every tablet that will be released whenever and wherever. I'm reviewing almost all of them. Thanks for watching, and until next time.